Meanwhile, in Italy, Christian Pulisic made his debut for AC Milan and marked it in some style. A brilliant goal as they would win by 2-0 in their opening match of the season. Jurgen, your boy Captain America is back.
Thankfully, absolutely thrilled. I'm thrilled for him. And this is obviously, it's a fantastic solution that he came up with. And this opportunity playing at AC Milan, this opportunity for him to play in Serie A is wonderful. It's wonderful. I think he's in a team that fits him well. He will learn a lot in Italy. He will learn also how to defend even more in a compact way because they are fanatical for that in Italy. But it's a good squad. It's good management. And for him, it's the opportunity now to as we talked in the beginning, to become consistent, to play game after game after game, to pick up a rhythm, and and mature even more. And we shouldn't forget that Christian is still young. You know, he's not 28, 29, and so he will learn still a lot. But to play for AC Milan and to get off to a good start, scoring a goal is fantastic.
How important is that consistency? As you say, Jurgen, which certainly lacked the last couple of seasons at Chelsea to be playing week in, week out?
Well, I mean, a lot depends also that we all hope that he stays healthy, because he had his fair share of injuries. But if he stays healthy, if he picks up a good rhythm and he's still a starter at AC Milan, I'm sure that he's going to do well. To play at Chelsea the last couple of years was very, very difficult. And it was a club absolutely in turmoil. Went through a change of leadership, ownership, and had a crazy amount of players on the roster, even more players on loan. It's been a nightmare there. And I just hope that he kind of settles in there at AC Milan, that he's just really able to focus on what is most important, meaning the performances on the field, the performances in training. And if he settles in well, I think this could be the perfect fit for Christian Pulisic.
Meanwhile, Barcelona registered their first win of the season, a 2-0 victory over Cádiz. They were far from their best. They had to endure some chances that Cádiz created. In the end, Pedri scored, Ferran Torres coming off the bench. But once again, we're still waiting for Lewandowski to get his first goal of the season. Gemma, how much talk or how much concern is there from the Barcelona supporters that Lewandowski's looking nowhere near his best at the moment?
Of course, there is a concern because these first two games of La Liga have been far from perfect for Lewandowski. And if Barcelona are the defending champions, it's for the great, especially first half of the season he did just before the World Cup. And that's the thing that worries, because it's true that the second half of the tournament last season, his performances fell. And the reason was that he was tired after the World Cup. Now, after vacations, after summer, he seems to start in the same way. This is the worst streak since he's a Barca player, 4 La Liga games without being able to score. So the reactions from his coach Xavi, he of course backed him up. He said that he's gonna be back to scoring, but at the same time he asked him to be more patient, because it's true that they were very impatient against Cádiz, and also to keep his position, not moving desperately, because it thinks that this doesn't help. And there is a lot of concern in Barcelona because they need Lewandowski goals. The Polish striker that this past Monday, he turned 35 years old.
Thing is, Ali, and people will go, oh, you're such idiots on FC. 2 games and you're having to go at Lewandowski. But Gemma makes a good point, because at the end of last season, he was nowhere near at the standard that he would expect to be either.
That's exactly the key, that this is a continuation of what we saw in the second half of the season last year. That we saw some of the similar things that we're seeing early on this season. That Barcelona may be struggling to create a lot of chances, but when they create the chances, Lewandowski is there to take advantage of those opportunities, and it's not happening. And I think at some point you have to address, okay, we've talked about Lewandowski maybe not getting the opportunities because Pedri wasn't available, because he was injured, because Dembele was injured. Well, now Dembele is gone. Pedri's still on the field. Gundogan's still on the field. Lamine Yamal, who was really good on the right-hand side, he's on the field. So they're creating enough opportunities for him to, at the very least, look dangerous. What I think it's concerning here is that there isn't an expectation now for him to score the goals when he gets on those sort of positions. You think of Lewandowski, and we saw a couple of the videos there where the ball pops to him inside the 18-yard box. One of the first things that he does or has done over the course of his career is that his first touch is clean. His first touch is getting away from him.
Right.
And because he can feel it, he can sense it, that things are not happening naturally, that's why he starts roaming all over the field, because he's now chasing it. So when Gemma's talking about him getting himself out of position, going in wide areas or playmaking, it's because he feels like he's not impacting the game. And so he lacks that patience. He lacks a little bit of confidence that can happen to any player at any level. And you're seeing the results or lack thereof. There isn't enough productivity consistent from Lewandowski, and he has to get better because Barcelona depend on his productivity.
Meanwhile, interestingly, obviously Jude Bellingham has come in at Real Madrid, hit the ground running. Graham Hunton's written an interesting article over the website saying how this may have upset the balance of Vinicius Junior, who obviously likes to normally drift in from the left, having to play more central, Gemma. How much attention has this got that Vinny Junior maybe isn't as happy as he should be with his team's good start to the season?
He can't be happy. He doesn't like the new system because you can see his frustration, especially against Almeria. He doesn't feel comfortable in this new system because he plays, as you mentioned, in the middle now of this diamond rhombus system. And this is not his natural position. Playing in the side with a 4-3-3, he has proven to be killing striker. But Ancelotti doesn't have the 9th striker to replace Benzema. So he needed to adapt the players to and try to find a new system. This diamond system, it's been working well, 2 wins away from home. Bellingham shining, but of course it's normal that Vinicius is not happy because while Bellingham, as you are doing the comparison, he has already scored 3 times. Vinicius has only got in 2 games 3 shots on target. It's true that one is a goal, a very lucky one, and he doesn't seem comfortable and happy at all. But of course, any change of system needs adaptation, needs effort, needs sacrifice, and he has proven to be a great forward. So I guess that with a little bit of time and patience, Ancelotti is very much in the top of him. He was shouting at him the other match in Almeria, and we'll see. But it's not that we will see if there is a striker arriving. I have a lot of concerns, but otherwise he will have to adapt to this diamond system.
Stevie, Vinicius Junior, is this a storm in a teacup?
No, he's out of position. You know, you have to look at the basics of the game. When you play wide in an attacking position that Vinny did last year, you can see the whole field.
Right.
You're open all the time. When you're playing with as one of the 2 strikers, you're playing with your back to goal a lot of the time. That is a completely change of position. It's thrown him into a different world. And unfortunately, because he was one of the best players on the planet in that wide area, everybody, just because he's got natural talent, is expecting him to be the same as a centre-forward. And he's not going to be, and he's never going to be. So, whilst they're winning, you're getting away with it, but if you're Vinny Junior, you're not happy, Cam.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.